You can in your dua mention all your Rebeccas and your Joannas and your Jonathans and your Smiths and your Ahmeds and your Mustafas and I don't know who else is doing something in your life. Mention all that. Special thing, if you can add it to your duas, it makes it even better. What is this special thing I'm saying to you? This is called munajat. Munajat is something that is wonderful. The Anbiya, the prophets taught us munajat. I'm gonna explain to you what munajat is. The prophets taught this to us. The ulama, the scholars have laid many different munajats. What's munajat? Munajat is a secret one-to-one you have with Allah, where you open your heart to Allah, where you talk about the details of what has led you to this dua. Munajat is when you start talking about anything that could get Allah's attention with finer details, okay? Just to get Allah's attention, right? So what am I talking about? Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam in the Holy Quran, he's going to make a dua, okay? This is in Surah number 71, you'll find it there. His dua is quite short at the end. His dua is literally, رَبِّ لَا تَذَرْ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ دَيَّارًا. Oh Allah, don't leave a single non-believer on the earth. He was making dua that because they've been so bad on the earth, that he said to Allah, his dua is going to be, oh Allah, don't let them live on the earth. Let's have a fresh start. And that's why Allah sent the floods of Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam's time, where he flooded everyone else and just the believers were saved on the ark. So he's going to make that dua. He's going to say, Rabbi ighfirli, oh my Lord, forgive me, wali walidayya, and my parents, waliman dakhala bayti, and those who board my ark, okay, forgive them. That's going to be his dua. Now, before he makes the dua, he's going to make a munajat, okay? He's going to make a munajat. Now this munajat to Allah Azza wa Jal is going to be you know what it is? It's like 2 pages of the Quran of munajat. 2 pages of the Quran as munajat to Allah Azza wa Jal, okay? Just before I carry on, I'm going to ask the sister over there, please, just give them some fresh air and bring them back, inshallah. Just get them settled, inshallah. So, Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salatu salam is going to make this munajat. Now, he's going to go into the details of his da'wah history. He's going to explain, what led him to this dua. He's going to now tell Allah in his dua minute details. Okay, in his munajat, this is what munajat is. Now listen to what he says. This is in Surah number 71, from about ayah number 5, you'll find it. He says, رَبِّ إِنِّي دَعَوْتُ قَوْمِي لَيْلًا وَنَهَارًا. My Lord, I have called my people. I've called my people by night and by day. وَكُلَّمَا دَعَوْتُهُمْ لِتَغْفِرَ لَهُمْ جَعَلُوا أَصَابِعَهُمْ فِي آذَانِهِمْ. Every time I called them to you, Allah, so that you could forgive them, they put their fingers into their ears so they wouldn't listen to me. He's saying this in his dua. وَاسْتَغْشَوْا ثِيَابَهُمْ. And they covered their faces with their clothes so that they wouldn't see me. وَأَصَرُّوا وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا اسْتِكْبَارًا. And they became very stubborn and arrogant. ثُمَّ إِنِّي دَعَوْتُهُمْ جِهَارًا. Then I called them out in public, oh Allah. I gave da'wah in public. ثُمَّ إِنِّي أَعْلَنْتُ لَهُمْ وَأَسْرَرْتُ لَهُمْ إِسْرَارًا. And then I announced to them, and I went to them secretly one by one. And I said this, he's saying this to Allah. فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. I said, seek forgiveness from your Lord, He is oft forgiving. يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا. In this drought that you're suffering, Allah will send the rains again upon this land. وَيُمْدِدُكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ. And Allah is going to extend your wealth once again, and He's going to extend your children. وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. And Allah is going to recreate for you gardens and rivers on this land. And He's saying a lot of things. And in His dua He says, أَلَمْ تَرَوْا كَيْفَ خَلَقَ اللَّهُ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ طِبَاقًا. I said to them, have you not seen how Allah has created the 7 heavens above you? وَجَعَلَ الْقَمَرَ فِيهِنَّ نُورًا. And how Allah has placed the moon inside there as a source of light for you. وَجَعَلَ الشَّمْسَ سِرَاجًا. And Allah has made the sun a lantern for you. وَاللَّهُ أَنبَتَكُم مِّنَ الْأَرْضِ نَبَاتًا. And Allah has made vegetation come out from the ground for you. Now He's saying all of this in His munajat to Allah. Then the most astonishing thing is, He says the next thing in His munajat to Allah. He says, وَقَالُوا لَا تَذَرُنَّ آلِهَتَكُمْ وَلَا تَذَرُنَّ وَدًّا وَلَا سُوَاعًا وَلَا يَغُوثَ وَيَعُوقَ وَنَسْرًا. He says, oh Allah, I'm calling them to you, and they're saying to one another, don't abandon your false gods. لَا تَذَرُنَّ وَدًّا. Don't abandon the false god of Wad. وَلَا سُوَاعًا. And not the false god of Suwa'. وَيَغُوث. Allah's messenger, he made dua, he said, and Yaghuth and Ya'uq and Nasra. 5 false gods. Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam, a prophet, mentions in his munajat to Allah the names of these false gods, the details of them to Allah. Now why do you think Allah Azza wa Jalla will now repeat those 5 false gods in our Quran? For us to repeat them until the Day of Judgment. Why would that be the case? Why would Allah do that? Because Allah wants us to say all these details of what's going on in your life to Allah. Alright? You might have had a long day of work. Okay, what do you do after a long day of work? You come from the long day of work, you come home, you sit down with your husband, or you sit down with your wife, you sit down with whoever is close to you, and you open up. You say, you know what, I went in that office here, I walked in the office and she was just staring at me. Yeah? She was just looking at me. When I took my first break for coffee, she was looking at a watch, how long I'd take. I mean, she really wants to get me sacked, isn't it? Then she comes up to me with a pile of work, puts them on my desk, and she says, you got till 3:30 to finish all of this, my love. She just wants me out of the office, doesn't she? You say that to your beloved, right? You know these things that you share, Allah wants you to share those things, those motions, those things that are happening, the details of whatever you said to someone, so said to you. Allah wants you to share that with Him. Because if you can make a human your close one, why shouldn't Allah deserve to be your close one? Through munajat, you draw yourself closer to Allah with these words, because you're letting out your stress and all those things that are happening in your life. And you're about to make a dua to say, oh Allah, guide me in my workplace, guide me in there, keep my job. You're going to say all of that. But you're going to raise your hand, you're going to say, oh Allah, I went to my office and they said this to me and I don't understand, but I'm doing my best. I'm trying to do what I want, but I don't know what to do anymore. I said that to her, she said that to me. Oh Allah, guide me please. Oh Allah, guide me. Keep me on this job, or give me the best job, or whatever it is. You're going to ask Allah Azza wa Jal for guidance. Let's say, for example, even for your child, for something else. I don't know, whatever you've got, details, even if it's to do with reports of whatever happening with your health checks and so on. Mention those things. Say to Allah, they said this, the doctors are saying this, but oh Allah, I'm asking you to do this for me. Oh Allah, I don't know what to do. I'm bewildered. I've got no way of looking ahead and doing something else. Please, oh Allah, please help me. This is munajat, because you're opening up your heart to Allah with things that are happening in your real life. Okay? And Allah Azza wa Jalla, He wants to hear. He wants to hear your inside. Not that He doesn't know it, but it makes you draw closer to Allah. Okay? It makes you draw closer to Allah. Or it's going to get His mercy. Let me